A security director asks, "Do I need UEBA?" Here is the honest answer. If your team cannot tell who owns an account, what that account normally touches, and who investigates risk alerts tomorrow morning, UEBA will not save you. It will create a smarter-looking pile of work. But if your identity data is clean, your logs are flowing, and your SOC already works alerts, UEBA can turn scattered signals into clear user and entity risk. It can be transformative. Timing decides which one you get. UEBA stands for User and Entity Behavior Analytics. In plain English, it watches how users, service accounts, devices, and sometimes applications normally behave. Then it flags behavior that does not fit the pattern, especially when several weak signals add up. A beginner can remember it this way. UEBA builds baselines, compares new activity to those baselines, and raises risk when behavior looks unusual for that identity or entity. In NIST-style terms, it supports detection and analysis. It does not replace identity management, logging, response procedures, or human judgment. It is an analytics layer that helps defenders see risky behavior across systems. Before UEBA, many SOCs live in single-event thinking. One odd login, one new device, one file access spike, one mailbox rule change. Each event may look too small to page anyone. Analysts have to connect those dots by hand across identity logs, endpoint logs, cloud logs, VPN logs, and business application logs. Static SIEM rules help, but they often miss slow behavior changes. They also struggle with context. A finance user accessing finance files is normal. A dormant contractor account doing the same thing at midnight is different. UEBA helps by adding memory and comparison. It asks, is this normal for this user, this peer group, this device, and this time? The mechanics are straightforward. Step 1. Feed UEBA good data. That usually means identity records, authentication events, endpoint activity, cloud activity, email activity, network access, and key application logs. Step 2. Map those events to real users and entities. This is where identity hygiene matters. Step 3. Build baselines. The system learns normal login locations, normal devices, normal working hours, common resources, peer groups, and typical data access. Step 4. Compare fresh activity against those baselines. Step 5. Combine signals into a risk score or risk alert. One event may not matter. 5 unusual events tied to the same account may deserve fast review. Here is a common SOC story. A privileged operations account starts showing activity outside its normal pattern. The first signal is a sign-in from a location the account has not used before. The second is access to an admin portal it rarely touches. The third is a sudden review of several sensitive groups. None of these signals alone is a guaranteed incident. The UEBA tool links them to the same identity and raises that user's risk score. The alert lands in a queue owned by the identity security analyst on duty. They verify the account owner, check approved change records, compare endpoint activity, and contact the manager. The activity is not expected. The team disables sessions, resets credentials, preserves logs, and opens incident response. UEBA is strong when weak signals are spread across systems. It is good at ranking identity risk, highlighting unusual access, and showing behavior drift over time. It can reduce blind spots created by rule-only detection. But it has hard limits. Bad identity data produces bad risk scores. Missing logs produce missing context. Shared accounts confuse baselines. Contractors with poor ownership create messy alerts. UEBA also does not decide business intent. It cannot know every approved exception unless your process records them. It does not investigate itself, contain accounts by magic, or replace analysts. UEBA amplifies a working program. If the program is chaotic, it amplifies that too. Think of UEBA as a behavior analytics layer in the defensive stack. Your SIEM collects and correlates events. UEBA uses many of those same events, plus identity context, to understand normal behavior and score risk. Identity and access management provides the account ownership, role, group, and privilege context. Endpoint tools provide device activity. Cloud and SaaS logs show resource access. Case management tracks decisions. Automation can route high-risk items, but only after humans define the process. The best setup is not SIEM versus UEBA. It is SIEM and UEBA working together. Events, context, risk, investigation, and response. Use this readiness checklist before buying or enabling UEBA. 1. Identity hygiene. No account owners, joiners, movers, leavers, privileged users, service accounts, and shared account exceptions. 2. Log coverage. Confirm you have authentication, endpoint, cloud, email, VPN, admin, and key application logs with usable timestamps and user mapping. 3. SIEM practice. If nobody reviews alerts, tunes noisy detections, and closes cases with notes, fix that first. 4. Queue ownership. Name the team that works UEBA risk, define severity, and set response steps. 5. Scope. Start with highest risk users and entities, admins, executives, finance, security tooling admins, and critical service accounts. Learn baseline review, identity context, and investigation writing. So, do you need UEBA? 3 beats. First, UEBA amplifies a working security program. It does not replace one. Second, identity hygiene and log coverage come before behavior analytics. Without them, the scores are shaky. Third, someone must own the risk queue and act on it. Start small with high-risk users and entities. Prove value, then expand. If you are building the basics, wait. If your SOC has the basics working, UEBA can help you see risk faster. Subscribe for a new Security Tools Decoded episode daily, plus the daily ranked CVE brief on this channel.